All right. How you doing, Sean? All right. What's up, Freddie? How are you? You're
I'm
on
doing
mute.
fine. Yeah, I'm doing fine, Peter.
Happy
How about-
post fourth.
Beg your pardon?
Happy post fourth.
Yes. Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure you had a great fourth.
Yeah, we hung out at the lake house. It's never bad when you do that. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Fun time.
Yeah. All right. What's up, AR? Good to see you. Hey, Agent G. I like that name. Is that a realtor agent or some other agent?
Nah, it's just a nickname.
I like it. I like it. Good to see you. Good to see you. Hey, Miss Morris, how are you? Good. What's up, Matt's iPhone? Hope you're doing good. What's up, Sean, Gus? Hey, Judy, how are you? That's a strange background, Judy. I see in yours. Hey guys, turn on your cameras. Let's have a little fun today. Let's talk. You know, it's hard to just kind of go and learn this thing by listening all the time. You learn by communicating and going back and forth. So click on your cameras. Makes it a lot easier.
I'm having trouble with my camera, which is why I think it looks like that.
That is why it looks like that. I got you. All right. What's up, Wendell? I like your background.
What's up, Pete? Yeah, I'm just trying to get a car like yours, man.
Okay, I like it. Let me help you get a car like mine. How about that?
Let's do it, baby.
Let's do it. All right, let's give it about another 30 seconds to get rocking and rolling. Hey, Shanice, how are you?
Hey, hello everybody.
Good. Where you dialing in from, Shanice?
I'm in Atlanta.
Oh, I like it. Mr. Robertson, how are you? Good to see you. What's going on, everybody? Yeah, let's have a conversation today, guys. Let's have a conversation. I do want to go over some stuff with you guys, but let's just talk for a little bit and then get rocking and rolling. All right, guys, let's what's up, Sherry? Good to see you. All right, guys. First of all, thank you for being here. All right, let's talk. I want to talk to you guys about marketing a little bit, and then let's talk a little bit interactive stuff, kind of go back and forth on some things. But really, in the end, marketing is the key hallmark of real estate investing, right? Like, if you never get to be a proficient at contracting, if you never get proficient at raising capital, if you never get to be proficient at selling or choosing realtors to sell, you know, there's a lot of things in real estate that you don't have to get proficient at. And in the end, you can be just fine. I mean, I've done thousands of real estate transactions, you know, I've been doing this for doing this forever and ever. And I could tell you, I know nothing about rehabs, like absolutely nothing about rehabs. There's a lot of pieces of the pie in the real estate investing I know nothing about. But I do understand how to get deals, and I do understand what marketing works, and I do understand what marketing doesn't work. And so that's what I want to do today. And by the way, guys, I appreciate you guys being on. It's first day back from a long holiday. That says a lot to me that you're on. For those of you that are on, turn on your cameras because I want to talk to you straight to you, and it makes it a lot easier talking straight to you, not straight to your name. So if you don't mind doing that, let's go ahead and do that. So we can get rock and rolling. But I want to talk to you a little bit about certain types of marketing things, and I want to talk to you about certain kind of marketing things and which ones I feel like work better, which ones I don't think work too well. But if I was working with all of these different marketing things and schematics, I'm going to tell you how to work with them. Because one thing I've learned after teaching this business by the way, guys, for those of you that stay on till the end, I'm going to tell you how we could do some deals together. You know, if you want to have access to the money you need to do deals, I got it. If you want to have access to marketing systems, I got them. If you want to have access to back office team, I got it. If you want to have access to the rehab side, I got all of that. So if you want to learn how to partner with me, we'll do it right in your market and then split profits. I'm going to share with you guys how we could do that. So for those of you that stay all the way till the end, I'll share with you how we could partner and do some deals together. Okay. All right, let's talk about marketing and how to find deals. The first thing I want to talk to you about is how to work with real estate agents. Now, for those of you that follow me at all and you hear me teach about real estate, one of the things you hear me talk about, right? One of the things you hear me talk about constantly is don't work with real estate agents. Now, in the grand scheme of things, I will tell you, I have personally bought hundreds of properties from real estate agents. So if you think about it, like how can I buy hundreds of properties from real estate agents, but teach the whole world not to do it? Well, because another very little known concept in real estate investing, and that is this. You know, people think real estate as a whole changes, and we all know it does. It goes up, it goes down, money's easy, money's hard, all that kind of stuff. But what most people don't realize is that things inside the real estate investing business change also. For instance, every single facet of real estate, if you break it up, like, you know, selling, marketing, acquisitions, rehab, what most people don't realize is those also have cycles. And so the realtor world, which is part of marketing, has a cycle. And there was no questions. There was times where I would buy dozens and dozens of properties from real estate agents. In the end, I know I've bought hundreds of properties from real estate agents. And the reality is specifically, and again, remember, I'm going to give you the answer how to work with these marketing systems anyway. First, I want to give you the reality about them, but then if you choose to work with them, I'm going to tell you how to do it in today's marketplace. In the end, the days of really buying through real estate agents aren't really there anymore. And they're not really there anymore for a couple reasons. Let me paint a cycle that somebody goes through when they work with an agent, and why I tell people it's very difficult, if not impossible, to get deals from agents. So here's kind of how the life cycle of somebody working with a real estate agent works. So let's say I have a house to sell. Let's say I got a big discount on it. I call my local real estate agent, all right? And I tell them I want $100,000 for this $300,000 home. Well, remember, a real estate agent works on commission, right? So the very first logical thing that's going to happen is they're going to be like, well, gosh, I can make 6% off $100,000, or the reality, it's a $300,000 home. So the very first thing that's going to happen is the real estate agent is going to literally talk that seller out of doing that for $100,000. And think about what average seller wouldn't take 300 over 100, right? Let's go past that step. Let's say I'm still like, you know what? I want my 100. I don't want the 300. I want my 100 in the out, you know, in the 1 in 1,000 chance that happens. Guess what? Here's the second roadblock. Every single realtor out there has people like me in their pocketbooks. Okay. Every single person like me has people in their pocketbooks who have access to money and can move quickly. So the second roadblock to you ever getting that good deal is a realtor is just going to call somebody. They're not going to list it on MLS. They're not going to spend the money on pictures, the listing fee, the commission they got to pay out on the back end. They're just going to just call somebody like, hey, listen, I got this dude. He's got a $300,000 home. He wants 100 grand for it. So that's the second roadblock you're going to go through. Let's say we get past that roadblock and there's no takers for a $300,000 home that somebody wants 100,000, and we know that ain't going to happen. But let's just play it out. Let's say that does happen. Next, what happens is I now, as a realtor, put that property on the MLS, right? Well, guys, here's once something hits the MLS, you as an individual, as a buyer, are then competing against technology. What that means is this: as soon as it hits the MLS, there's programs, there's bots out there that within a couple seconds have access to it. And they run their algorithms. I mean, this is nothing fancy. This is done in the stock market, in the crypto market. It's also done in real estate all the time. So usually within 10 to 15 minutes of something good hitting an MLS, the technology takes over and immediately buys everything and makes offers on everything that gets to that level. Let's say there's a technological breakdown for those 5 minutes that hit the MLS. The next thing you're competing against is this thing called the hedge funds. And I don't care what part of the United States in, chances are hedge fund has got presence there. And if they don't have presence there, they have inventory there. They're the biggest buyers of real estate right now. Hedge funds don't buy the way we as investors buy. Hedge funds buy based upon cash flow, which means they don't even look at equity. Here's the thing about hedge funds. Two things we have going against us. One, they have billions of dollars and they have to spend it. We as investors, we protect our money. They, as employees of a hedge fund that has billions of dollars, they don't want to protect that money. You think they care about that hedge fund? Heck no, they want to spend that money. And hedge funds even make it even more lucrative for them because they pay them a commission. Is that crazy? In that model, they all make money when they buy. I wish we make money when we bought, right? As investors, we got to do the work first. We got to sell it. So now you're competing against hedge funds that have to spend billions of dollars, and they make commissions when they buy. And since they're buying based upon cash flow, they're not looking, right? They're not looking for great deals. They're just looking for deals. Bottom line is hedge funds are able to pay dollar on the dollar. Now, how can you compete with somebody that will pay $100,000 for a home that's worth $100,000? You can't. So did you see all these hurdles? Agent discouraging a seller from giving the property away. Agent having people in his back pocket to sell those houses. Technology, hedge funds. This is why I tell people, by the time your realtor is giving you this incredible deal that's been there for a month or a couple of weeks, I promise you it's been picked over by everybody and nobody wants it. And this is why your realtor is bringing you that deal. Okay? That's just the reality of every single property that's being brought to you. Now, remember, I also told you today that I'm going to give you kind of the downside, but I also want to share with you that I know there's some people out there that still want to pursue that game on the realtor side. So if you want to pursue the game of the realtor side, here's how I would do it. Here's what I consider to be the only thing that works in today's marketplace. Okay, here's the only thing that works in today's marketplace. And by the way, we got a deal right now we're working on in Chicago that was from a real estate agent. But this is the strategy you got to use to go after those deals. Okay, here's the strategy you got to go use those deals. So our partner on this deal, his name is Doug. And Doug also has another partner. And what Doug and his partner do is they physically pick up the phone and they call on listings. Right? They call on listings in specific areas where they know there's pretty good deals, right? Where they know there's pretty good deals, okay? They call on these properties and they talk to the real estate agents. Now, follow me the strategy here. It's actually, if I was going to go myself personally after MLS kind of deals, this is how I would do it. No question about it. It's the only way you have a shot at it, okay? Here's how this works. They call the agent and they just start talking to that agent. And there's two types of agents out there. And for those of you that ever work with real estate agents, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. There's one agent that does what they're supposed to do and they keep their mouth shut. And they're not going to release too much information to you. They're just going to say, make us an offer, put it in writing. And you're going to leave with is absolutely no information after that call. But then there's that second kind of an agent, and we all know people like that and agents like that. And the second kind of an agent is the one that's going to basically, they're basically going to spill their guts to you, right? And so let me tell you what's going on in this deal that we're doing with our partner Doug right now in Chicago. Him and his partner found a couple of areas. They're pretty hot areas. There's a lot of activity going on there. And say they call this one agent and the property is listed for $145,000. They call this agent and basically here's how the conversation goes, right? Here's how the conversation goes. They basically say something like, why is your seller selling? And, they're just trying to reach her. And guess what happens? This agent throws up all over them, gives them all the recon on what's going on. So what does this agent say? I got a young couple. They just both lost their jobs. They're desperate. They don't live in a house. So they don't need the house. They don't live in the area, so they don't even can't get a tenant in there. It needs money to be a functional house, means it needs a rehab, and they don't have the kind of money to fix it, so they can't even put a tenant in there to cash flow, right? And so for 10 minutes, this agent tells them every single thing that we could possibly, but what this agent did is they explained to Doug, our partner, this is an extremely, extremely motivated seller. That's what they did. They explained to the partner that there is an extremely, extremely motivated seller involved here. And guess what? We have this property under contract for. It was $145,000 list price. We have it under contract for $70,000, less than 50%. And guess what? I'm already teaching Doug as we're going through our inspections due diligence. The first thing is I told Doug immediately continue to make friends with this realtor. This is a great realtor to have because of all the recon they're giving us. And Doug said this agent is already about to introduce another person to us with the almost exact same situation. So that's great. And as Doug keeps on talking to this agent, I'm already teaching Doug, set her up that we're going to have to get it even lower. Set her up, set her up, set her up, set her up, set her up. Become a friend with her and set her up. So we're going to go in once we get our rehab numbers in and everything. By the way, this is a $240,000 home. It needs about, looks like right now, looks like it needs about $60,000 worth of work. So when it was a 145 plus 60 or 70 worth of work, it's not really a deal at 240, right? There's not enough margins. But at 70,000 with 60 or 70 work and you're into it for about 130, 140, and you got a 240 takeout, it absolutely is a deal.
So Pete, I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
So how'd you get it from 140 to 70? I guess maybe I missed that.
That's what I just spent 20 minutes explaining. The realtor told us that.
But what I'm saying, you still had to negotiate from the 140 to the.
No, the realtor already knew this. Realtor told us, just make the offer, and the way I got a seller that's willing to do it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And on top of that, Wendell, we're going to go in lower. We're going to go in at about $50,000 once we get our numbers in, and we're going to get it below 70.
Okay. Right.
So when it comes to working with realtors, in the end, I discourage it. And I 100% discourage it if all you're doing is you're telling a real estate agent, hey, just bring me a deal, bring me a deal. All they're looking at you is a paycheck at that point, and they're just basically going to be lying to you about these incredible deals they're bringing to you. Because of those hurdles I explained to you. Those hurdles are real life hurdles, and you never get anywhere with them. But if you're willing to do the strategy I just said, and basically call these realtors. And by the way, you're going to have to talk to a lot of them. Then most realtors are not going to do what this agent did. Most realtors are going to make it very quick and simple. Hey, make me an offer. But there's enough of them out there who will talk your ear off and who will give you more information than they should be giving you and disclose more to you than they should be disclosing. You guys get my point, right? And those are the ones that potentially now make this MLS world, which is not a formidable world to compete in, it gives you an advantage. But there, it's not what really, if you think about it, you're not working with the world in the world of MLS and realtors. You're just working in a real world of big talkers, people that give off too much information, right? You could say that about anything. An attorney that'll give off too much information, you know, probate people and all this. So if you're going to go after realtor deals, this is the way I say to do it. Next, let's talk about another favorite topic that I teach people to steer away from, and that's wholesalers, all right? And especially when you get started in this business, a lot of people, well, when someone gets started in real estate, there's two sources of getting deals that people gravitate towards. One is real estate agents and one is wholesalers. And I can tell you why people gravitate towards them. One, that's what everybody knows, right? Hey, if I need a house, what do I call? I call a real estate agent. It's what we're taught from the day we, learn about real estate. So those things are just embedded. People just don't know there's other ways of doing it. And the second reason people gravitate towards those are the easy ones to go after, right? It takes a lot to go after. Takes a lot to go after deals that were direct to owners. You got to sift through a lot. You got to get hung up on a lot, blah, 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 blah. But because of ease of use, and it's because it's just what everybody knows, that's where everybody tends to gravitate towards. So let's talk about wholesalers. Again, in my real estate career, I've bought hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of properties from wholesalers over the decades I've been in this business, couple decades I've been in the business. But this is why now, and again, you would think, well, Pete, this would be a source that you would be teaching and encouraging people to go after. But the reality is it's not. It is a source I tell people you want to stay away from. And here's why I tell people you want to stay away from the world of wholesalers. Many years ago, when I would buy from wholesalers in a consistent manner, right? When I would buy from wholesalers in a consistent manner, I did that because wholesaling, and this is kind of hard for me to explain, but the wholesaling world was very different than it is today. Back then, wholesalers was kind of a more high level, more respected, more educated, kind of a position in real estate. Right? Like here in Atlanta, huge opportunities here. And I could tell you, us wholesalers, and I used to wholesale myself, we knew each other, and there was just a lot of respect in that world. And what's really happened over the last decade or so in real estate, the best I could describe it to you is wholesaling has been just bastardized. It went from a fairly respected, fairly sophisticated, fairly educated, right, people, right? It went from there. It now has gone to every Tom, Dick, and Harry is a wholesaler, especially the newbies, right? And the reason that's happened is because that's kind of sort of how we've been taught. That's how we've been taught. Now when you go to like all the seminars and you listen to all the webinars and you do anything with people that are you do anything with people that are just getting started in this business, they hear all the time from everybody, oh, just wholesale, it's easy. Wholesale, it's easy. Just get a property locked up here, sell it here, or make $1 million in the middle, and so now what's happened here in the last decade or so, there's been basically thousands and tens of thousands and probably well over 100,000 of investors that had been influxed into this world of wholesaling. And because all these investors have been influxed into the world of wholesaling, this whole position has been just totally turned upside down. And so now when I tell people stay away from wholesalers, it's not because I don't believe in a wholesaling strategy, because I actually do believe in a wholesaling strategy wholeheartedly. We still wholesale deals. We're actually closing in a deal we're wholesaling tomorrow, making good money on it with a partner. But the reason, because it's been so turned upside down, you don't even know when you think you're dealing with a wholesaler, you don't even know if you're dealing with somebody that has that property under contract, right? And anyone that's dealing with wholesalers knows what I'm talking about. Because there's this thing called a daisy chain now. And what happens, because there's so many new people in the wholesaling business, and we all know finding deals is very difficult. People get into the wholesaling side, realize, oh my God, it's hard to find a property, but I don't want to quit. So they get into these daisy chains. And that's where you're just basically finding other people that are selling properties and reselling their deals. That's all you're doing. You're just finding other people. I got my helper here. This is my 1.5-year-old, right? You say hello, Olivia. So she's going to hang out here for a minute, have an orange, right? And so what happens, you get into this world, you just get into the daisy chain world. I can guarantee you 9 out of 10 deals that you're looking at from wholesalers, you're not dealing with the person that even has that property under contract. And so what happens, people get these properties locked up and you think you're dealing with the source. You know, you spend your time and money going through due diligence, inspections, maybe getting title work done, and you realize, oh my God, I'm not even dealing with the person that has it under contract. Or it's an expired contract. It's just 20 different ways. Number two, why I tell people to stay away from wholesalers. In the end, that is the most, and again, for those of you that have dealt with wholesalers, know what I'm about ready to say. Has anyone ever dealt with a wholesaler here? Can I see a show of hands for those of you that have your cameras on? Have you ever, what's up, Gus? Thank you. Have you ever seen a bad wholesaler flyer? I see you, Indy. I see you, Wendell. Thank you. You've never seen, none of us have ever seen a deal from a wholesaler had bad numbers, right? You've never seen a deal like buy it for 100, spend 20, and then lose 10K in the middle. No, it's always like buy it for 100, spend 20, and make 90,000 in the back end, right? Bottom line is I could tell you 99% of those flyers, okay, 99% of those flyers, they're all misrepresented numbers. And like just earlier today, I was talking to a wholesaler. Now, this wholesaler that I was talking to, okay, this wholesaler I was talking to, I actually know. I've known him for 20 years. And he's kind of been out of the gig for a while, and he's getting back in. And one thing I know, he's got the gift of gab, and he knows how to get deals. And so I was telling him, I was like, Dawsey, dude, listen, it's easy. Just don't represent numbers to me. I'll buy every property you get. Every property you get, I'll buy from you. Just don't misrepresent numbers to me. And so that's kind of my way of knowing, telling these wholesalers that are constantly calling me, I know your game. And so this is another reason why the newbie gets sucked into that game. You see these incredible numbers on flyers. You think you got yourself an incredible deal, and you really don't. But again, by the time you go through your inspections, by the time you go through your due diligence, by the time you go through all that, the whole thing just isn't a deal. By the way, let's make this interactive, guys. For those of you that have questions, don't be afraid of asking all that. Freddie, what you got for me, my man? You got to unmute yourself, bottom left hand.
Yeah, sorry about that. I don't play that game, Peter. This is why I play the game with these guys. I said, if you got the property, We joint venture. If I bring my buyer, we split the profit. That's the way I play it with him.
Yeah, and that's
how I do it.
another way of doing it. But remember, that doesn't mean that you're dealing with the guy that has it under contract. You still could be involved in a daisy chain. You still could be involved with a lot of misrepresented numbers, but Freddie, that is a legit strategy where you just basically partner up with wholesalers. They bring the inventory, you bring the buyers, you split the profits. You just want to make sure you're dealing with somebody very, very legit at that point.
Well, put it this way, Peter, I've been in this game. I know a lot of top Sean. I know all the ones around there doing it. Sean Terry, all these guys.
Yeah.
I've been a lot of tours. I plug my fact. I'm in Chicago. Me and Lindsay just talked about the top people here in Chicago. I met with their group, and like I said, I have to see the contract. I have to see the numbers, and we meet face to face, and I lay it out to them. That's what we play it.
Well, and that's how you do it. So let me go down Freddie's pathway, which is where I was going to go down anyway. And thank you for that, Freddie. I 100% agree with what you just said. So how do you deal with wholesalers? For those of you that are like, well, Pete, I could work through this and I could. So here's when I deal with a wholesaler, especially somebody we may have not done business with, it's very simple. Step one, you do exactly what Freddie just said. We demand to see his contract between them and the seller. This right away makes you realize if you're involved in a daisy chain or you're dealing directly with somebody that has a property under contract. So that's number one. We demand to see the seller and by the way, if they back away and they're like, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to, I don't want you. That's such a silly statement to make, right? Because if we're going to buy this property, we're going to have to take over the closing anyway. We need to connect with the seller. We've got to coordinate buyers, sellers, closing attorneys, title agents, right? So it's not like they're hiding something from us we can't get access to. So that's the first step is we have to see the seller contract between them. It's got to have their name on it and the owner's name. And the second thing we demand is we need to have the contact information for the seller. One, we're going to get it anyway. So they're not protecting themselves. If they say, oh, I can't do that, that's a bunch of BS. But the reason we want to see the seller, and by the way, we never go around these wholesalers. We know that's not our game. That's not how we get as many deals as we get by going around people. That's not this business. But we actually call the sellers to confirm, hey, just what, and the way we introduce ourselves, we say, hey, I'm the money partner for Bob. We're kind of taking over the deal at this point. Here's our contact information if you have any questions about the closing or anything like that. And we confirm that that is a legitimate contract, that they have agreed to sell their house. They haven't sold it to anyone yet. And we just kind of introduce ourselves as the people that are going to be taking over the deal at this point from a perspective of getting, everything coordinated to take it out to closings. Make sense? So that's the only way that if you're going to play the wholesaler game, or if you're going to partner with me on deals and you bring me any wholesaler deals, that's what you got to do. You got to get us the contract from the owner, got to get us the contract with the owner's info. Just guys, it's for legitimacy's sake. This business, and you guys know this, for those of you that have been doing this business lends itself to running like a chicken with your head cut off, right? Running like a chicken with your head cut off and have nothing to show for it. Well, one way people do that is they chase pipe dreams. They chase things that can never happen, will never happen, and there's no legitimacy of them happening. Okay, so what that does is that saves you a bunch of time doing things the right way. Whether you want to work with real estate agents or whether you want to work with wholesalers, the way I just explained it to you. So real estate agents, I just showed you how to work with them. Wholesalers, I just showed you how to work with them, right? So let's talk about kids' noises don't bother me as much. I know they probably bother you guys more, but when you have 5 kids, kids' noises don't bother you. Let's talk about the most legitimate source out there right now, and that is connecting with owners. I could tell you there's nothing more legitimate than going directly to the source. And this is the one marketing strategy that actually has stood the test of time. Meaning, this is the marketing strategy that would work if the realtor market is up or down, if the wholesaler market is up or down, if the real estate market is up or down. The only one that's across the board is the true, most legitimate, most consistent, most prevalent, will, by the way, get you way better deals than these other ones will, is your ability to go directly to owners, okay? If you can go directly to owners, then that is where all the action is. Now, the question is, how do you want to go? How do you want to go to owners? There's multiple ways of going directly to owners. And a lot of it really depends on your skill set, your time allowance, and your budget. Skill set, time allowance, and your budget, right? So for instance, if you have no marketing budget, you got some time on your hands, but you got no money in your hands, then I could tell you cold calling is the way to go. By the way, guys, there's no shame in the cold calling game. I built my whole real estate business off cold calling. My first couple 200-300 deals I bought all came as a result of some kind of a cold contact. The good thing about the cold contact game is also there's an unlimited number of them, right? You're not limited because there's an unlimited amount of people that own real estate. And so what I would do is I would just get access. You can get access to something like Deal Driven. That's our software. They'll give you contact directly to the owners. And you call them. I don't get too much into scripting. I go in really light on the script. Hey, I'm a local investor. I understand you own a house in Atlanta market. Would you be open to cash offer? That's how I start my conversation, and I just go from there. The goal in that initial conversation is get in the door. Get in the door. Especially if you're on the newer side of this business, don't do too much negotiations on the phone. You're a lot more effective in person. And for those of you that are partnering with me, you'll see I teach a lot on negotiations. That's one of the things I spend a lot of time on with my partners, because that's where you make all your money, is learning how to negotiate deals. So I think a tremendous opportunity is cold calling. If you got something, if you have money to spend, the absolute best leads you're going to get are paid for leads, because they're qualified leads. And I could tell you there's a company I've been working with for a number of years now that I think, it's not my company. I have nothing to do with them. I love these guys. I believe in them. They're the number one source of the deals I've gotten. So if anyone wants to connect with them, just send me a text. Kristen, if you could put my number, my cell phone in the chat, put my name and cell phone in the chat, and just text me, and I'll get you connected with them directly, okay? I want to kind of explain a little bit, but you really want to have at least a minimum $2,000 a month you could spend towards that kind of marketing, and do it for a couple of months. Obviously, the more you spend, but I'll give you an idea. I got one of my partners, he and I just counted up on the last $14,000 we spent with this company. We closed 3 fix and flips, average profit margin in each one over 45,000. So $14,000 spent, over 100,000 made. 1-to-10 ratio about. Pretty good. So if you want access to that lead source, just text me directly at 404-915-9685. 404-915-9685. Put the word leads in your text. Put the word leads in your text. I'll tell you a little bit about some strategies, how to use them, and then I'll just connect you with them directly, and you can go do your own thing with them. But it is I love these guys.
Oh,
So,
Peter.
Yes. What's up, Brady?
What was the ratio? What's the ROI on it again? You spent how much did you just spend?
We spent 14 and we made over 130.
14, you made 130.
Oh,
Time
yeah.
frame.
What's that?
The time. How many months?
3 months. 3 months. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I got that ratio. Okay. 14. Okay. 14. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm vetting a lot of these companies, Lead to Sell.
It's the best one out there.
You think so?
Well, I know so. I've done this for 25 years. I'm not even connecting to these guys, but I recommend it to everyone. It's my number one lead source.
Well, I used them before you used them.
Well,
I didn't spend that much money, but we'll talk about that later on. But
got to be willing to invest in yourselves, guys. In real estate, if you ain't investing in yourself, anyway, you know the spiel there. But it's anyone interested, just send me a text directly, and I'll get you connected with them. Okay. So basically, you got 2 spectrums. On one spectrum, you got, hey, I have some time, I have no money. Then you just cold call, you do door knocking. You also connect with people like code enforcement people. Guess who has access to deals? Code enforcement people, because they're putting notices on all the dilapidated houses in your marketplace. Guess who's the most likely person to sell? The guy that has the dilapidated house in their marketplace, right? So, I strongly recommend them. And attorneys, closing attorneys is a great source for leads, because closing attorneys only make money when they close. So they might have an investor deal going on. All of a sudden it falls apart for whatever reason at the last minute. They ain't getting paid. Guess what? They love to have people like us in their back pocket. Like, hey, I just had a deal fall apart. Let me give you the name of the contact who's putting the deal together. Title companies, closing attorneys, survey companies, appraising companies, all of these people come across deals all the time. So they are all worthy to go after and get stuff like that. All right, guys. So let me answer some questions that you guys have here. But remember, in summary is this: realtors taught you how to work with realtors today. Wholesalers taught you how to work with wholesalers, and going direct to owners told you the two best sources out there right now, if you're doing it for free or if you got some money. I'll stay around to answer questions. By the way, guys, you guys know me. I'm an investor, 25 years in this, well, 23 years in a business, have done thousands of deals, and all my deals have partners. So if you're at the point in this business where you've got to make money or you got to get to the next level and you're ready to level up, that's what I do. I'll take you under my wings, and my team and I will coach and train you. We'll set up your marketing systems, the systems I was just telling you about. We'll set up 6 or 7 different marketing systems, help you identify which ones are good for you to get leads. I have a back office team that'll handle paperwork. We'll handle all inspections for us to make sure the deals are good, appraisals. We'll coordinate buyers and sellers, get closing attorneys in your marketplace. Next, I'm going to provide you all the capital. That's huge. So on the deals we do together, the money is not, you don't have to spend money to buy them and to fix them. That's all on me. I have a construction team that if need be, we could help, be deployed across the US. And then when we sell them, we just do profit share in the back end. But you got to be coachable. You got to be trainable. Please don't not be looking for a free handout. As a matter of fact, if you're looking for a free handout, don't be in real estate. You're in the wrong business. You got to be willing to invest into yourself financially. You got to be willing to invest yourself time-wise. You got to be coachable. You got to be a hustler. Your responsibility is going to be to take what we teach you and help us find deals in your marketplace. So if you're willing to do that, then you got a home with me. So for those of you that want to know how you could partner with me and do deals, there is a link inside chat right now. Kristen just put that in. Just schedule a call with myself and my team. We'll get on the phone. If after talking to you, we feel like you're for real, no BS, no junk, willing to do what it takes, and you're a good fit for me, and at the same time, you feel that we're a good fit for you, then by next week, we'd start putting deals in your marketplace. Simple as that. All right. Who's got any questions for me? Any questions? Either speak up or raise your hand. Any questions?
Do you have any earlier times on Saturday? The earliest time I see is like 3.
Kristen, is that correct? Can you come on live? You're saying we have nothing available till Saturday?
No. What I'm saying, on Saturday, the earliest time I see available is.
Oh, you
3:30.
specifically Saturday, and there's no one available on Saturday till 3?
Hey, what time do you want Saturday?
Can we do like maybe like 10
Eastern?
Eastern? Yep.
Yep, you got it.
All right, Wendell, I better be doing deals with you, my man.
All right, Pete, we're gonna talk, man. Let's see what we can do.
All right. Any other questions for me about real estate, techniques, strategies, what we talked about today, partnering with me, next level up? Freddie, you got a question, or is this from the past?
No, what are you talking about putting deals in marketing? What's that's like?
You mean what your responsibility is?
Yes. When you're talking about putting,
it's to use the techniques that the couple of techniques and a lot more techniques that I told you today, and just find deals for us in the marketplace. So, and we figure out with each individual partner what the right technique for him is. Some people spend money, put money in the marketing to speed up the process. To some people, Freddie, it's door knocking, it's cold calling, it's a hustle. You know that. You've been in this thing long enough. You got to
Yeah,
be a
yeah.
hustler to work with me. But if you want to make the kind of money my partners make, then you got to be willing to put the time and effort in. But we got different, Freddie, we got different strategies for different people, depending on your personality, depending where you live, depending on how much money and time you have or don't have and all that.
Yeah, I'm in Chicago. I'm in Chicago.
I love
Northwest,
Chicago, by the way. Well, you know, Lindsay, were you talking about my Lindsay?
Yeah, man, we're gonna talk another couple hours. Yeah, we talk about putting something together.
Yeah, I mean, I love Lindsay and we're closing a deal next week. So I love Chicago. I've helped many people in Chicago. I got multiple deals going on in Chicago. Yeah, I love it.
Okay. All right.
All
Yeah.
right. Schedule a
Okay,
call,
good.
Freddie. Schedule a call. Let's talk.
Okay.
All right. Mr. Juan,
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, sir?
All right, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
All right, I just want to thank you for this awesome explanation about the business.
Thank
I
you.
am ready, willing, and able to start being a partner starting today, the 5th, which is, I think, the first day of the rock and roll 45 days. So I'm starting today. I'm gonna, after this call, I'm gonna call my dear friend Roland. I did what I had to do as he entrusted me, and I'm ready to go.
Let's do it. Hey, Kristen, can you make sure Roland and Juan connect?
I already texted Roland for you,
Okay.
Juan.
Hi, Juan. I'll call you
Yes.
personally as soon as you get everything finalized with Roland. I'll call you, give your first set of marching orders. And what Juan's talking about today, we got some special stuff starting out with our partners, but I don't want to get into all that because I don't want to take all the time. Welcome aboard, Juan. Looking forward to working with you.
Okay, thank you. I'm regard to Julie Mills over there. Thank you,
love
all of you.
I love it. I love it. Let's go do some deals.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Anybody else have any questions? Either raise your hand or speak up. Hey, Gus, I see you. Talk to me.
Okay. I got this link via the lead. Need to sell my house fast. The my leads, you know, like your PPL, right? Pay per lead.
Yes, sir.
So how does that affiliate with you?
I love those guys. That is. Are you interested? Are you using them?
I have just about to start. I was holding back until I actually had this call with her.
If you haven't started, just send me. You got my number. Send me a text. I'll give you some insight on these guys. I love these guys. Let me just put it that way.
Okay. And the second thing is I got a house in Chicago I want to get rid of.
Perfect. Let's partner.
Okay.
Got to sign up for, but you got to be a partner. Got to be a partner. So schedule a call with the team. We'll go over what it means to be a partner, how you become a partner. And Gus, check this out. Don't partner with me because you got a house in Chicago. Partner with me because we're going to do 50 houses. You want a lot more than just 30 to 50 we make on one. And you're willing to put the time and effort in, and you're a hustler. If that's you, schedule a call, okay? Because I don't want to do one-offs. I want for people who have big dreams, big goals, okay? Kristen, if you could drop that. Okay, book a call at there. All right. Anybody have any other questions? Either speak up or throw your hand up. Everybody good? All right, guys. Starting next Wednesday, we're doing the exact same call, but we're changing it to 6 p.m. Eastern. So starting next week, because we've had a lot of requests for start doing these a little bit later. So starting next Wednesday, we're going to do what I did today. Different topic, different Q&A, different really cool stuff, behind the scenes stuff of how I've done thousands of deals. But we're switching from 2 p.m. Eastern to 6 p.m. Eastern. All right, guys, let's go dream. Let's go chase it. See ya. See you next week.